Hello there, everyone, and welcome to another tier list discussion video. Today, we are going to be looking at movies. Not particularly good movies. I mean, some of them are, but most of them are not that. We're going to be looking at M. Night Shyamalan's movies because we put it to a vote, and it didn't win, but it was a tie. So we did another vote, and it was another tie. So we did a third vote, and it was a third tie, and I was like, fuck it, we're doing Shyamalan. So, joining me in this discussion, I have.
Uh, Hi, I'm Nicholas. You can just call me Nick, and I suffered through most of these Shyamalan movies.
Yeah, it was an experience. It was something, but okay. So, let me go ahead and share my screen with you so you can see the tier list as well. Just because I know if you like pull it up on the live stream, it will be like slightly delayed. Um, but before I do that, while I go ahead and share that we are live, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, there's nothing much really. I only had like a little experience with Shyamalan movies before doing this. I only saw like Unbreakable, Last Airbender, saw like bits and pieces of some of the other movies. I knew a lot about the twists that some of them are infamous for. But some of them like really like surprised me, especially Wide Awake. Finding Wide Awake's twist at the very end, just I jokingly predicted it like at the last minute, and then I just like broke out laughing like when it finally happened. Like, uh, that still gets me off guard.
Yeah, it's something because I'm kind of in a similar boat myself. I'd seen a few Shyamalan movies, but like not many. I think prior to this, I'd seen The Sixth Sense, Split, and Signs. Those were the only three I had seen, and I hated Signs. I actually really didn't. I really did not like the movie for a lot of reasons, which we'll get to when we get to there. But it was like a terrible experience. And then Sixth Sense I liked, but I didn't think it was like as good as people had previously made it out to be. I felt it was a bit kind of overhyped.
I think the issue with Sixth Sense is that it's not as good when you already know the twist.
Yeah, that's definitely like a
And with
factor.
that
Yeah.
movie being super popular, like the twist being like spread out, it kind of like ruins the effect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Split. I liked Split. I had my issues with it. A lot of which being the portrayal of dissociative identity disorder. Like I know that's a very common criticism of it, but it's not as terrible as I remember it being. Like there actually are some good things about it, which the next movie, Glass, proceeds to completely ruin the good things about it. But we'll get there when we get there. So yeah, this was definitely an experience watching all these movies. Um, so the way this is going to work is we're going to go through each movie. We're going to rank them based on the movie itself, and this is ranking the movies as just as movies. Like we're not ranking them compared to other Shyamalan movies. We're just ranking them as movies itself. Because I feel like if we ranked these movies in comparison to each other, then that would skew the results a lot because some of these are really good and then some of these are really bad. But if we just look at them as just like movies as a whole, then there's a lot more like variance in terms of good ones, kind of just like mid ones, and then bad ones. And then the second thing we're going to be doing is we're also going to be making a second tier list specifically for the twists. So we're gonna rank the movie, then we're gonna rank the twist. So, am I alright? Let me go ahead, share my screen with you on Discord, and we can go ahead and get started. Alright.
All right,
Okay.
looking good.
Alright. So, starting off first, we have Wide Awake. Um, Wide Awake, for those of you that don't know, Shyamalan's first movie is so different from the rest of his movies. He's known for like suspense, thrillers, light horror.
Dra-
This movie
drama,
has none of
lots of
that.
drama.
Yeah, drama. This movie has none of that. This movie is literally like like a cliche coming of age story. Um,
It's very chill.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's something you could put on the background.
yeah. So like, it's definitely like a lot more lower stakes, calmer, and like it makes sense. It was his first movie, like his first actual directorial
Theatrical movie.
debut. Yeah, yeah, like so I can definitely get doing something like a little bit smaller scale. But as for the movie itself, like there's nothing special about it. The main characters not really that compelling. I didn't really care much for his story or like his journey throughout the movie. I also don't really feel like he grew much. He kind of just got over his problems because, oh no, my friend had a stroke, but I saved his
Oh
life.
no,
No,
it
he had a
was a
seizure. He had a
seizure.
seizure. My
Yeah.
friend had a seizure, but I saved his life. So I'm over my grandpa's death now. Like,
Yeah. I'm not sure like what kind of growth you can get for like a real little kid like that. Like maybe something, but like I feel like they really like just rushed along like, "Oh, I'm over my grandfather's death now." Whole thing.
yeah. So like, I don't know. It's a chill movie. It's like it's something to like throw on in the background. You're not gonna get deeply invested in it. You're not gonna like care a lot about it, but it's watchable. So I think I'm gonna put it in B tier. So now, um, the way this is gonna go is I'm gonna put it where I think that it goes, and then you get to either rebuttal, saying why it should be higher or lower, or you get to agree and say why you also think it should be there.
I don't have a problem with B. If we added more later on, I think it should be lower B because for me it kind of feels sort of in the middle. But since it's
Mm-hmm.
even number six ranks, six tiers, I think B and C are good places for it.
Yeah, yeah. Like I definitely
It's
think
not
that's
terrible, but it's not groundbreaking or like even like something I would want to watch again.
yeah.
It's like it's something I would like tune out if I'm visiting my grandma's house.
That's such
I
a
could just see
perfect way
it
of
played in
putting
my
it.
grandma's house.
Okay, so now, as for the twist in Wide Awake, the twist is that his classmate is God.
I thought the twist was just my friend has epilepsy, he has seizures, and I
Yeah,
thought that was it. But then they threw me off with it being this kid that just like walks around the school acting weird is God.
like
This little blonde
yeah,
kid.
it's funny because like the whole movie is about him trying to find God and trying to find proof God is real, and then at the end it's like, yeah, he was actually in your class the whole time.
You could have just walked up to him and say, "Hey God, is my grandfather okay?"
Yeah, so
Ugh.
I don't know. I
God
think
saw
it's
all the horrors of the world back in like what was this 1998 and
something
like
like that.
back in 1998 and he said I could deal with that but I think I'll give divine intervention to this little boy today.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like
I
mhm,
I
go
know
ahead.
in the thumbnail you have this in predictable, but I honestly would not say it's predictable. Like I jokingly predicted it. Like I was like, "Oh, I bet this kid's God, isn't he?" And then it turned out he was, and I was like, "What the?"
Yeah, yeah. I feel like it's definitely not as predictable as I like thought at first. Because like yeah, we predicted it, but we didn't purposely predict it. We were like
We
making jokes,
we
and then
were
when it
we
actually
were like
happened,
we were like just like shooting the shit. Like we weren't actually expecting it.
I think I don't know. Maybe this is kind of harsh because again, first movie debut, but I kind of want to put it in unnecessary. Like, I don't think the movie gained anything from this reveal that his classmate was God. Like, it doesn't change anything. His story's already over. His character arc is already done. It's just literally the last minutes of the movie. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, God was here the whole time. Like,
Yeah, I gotta agree. It definitely was unnecessary. It felt like feel like having actual God in it at the last minute kind of just like kind of brings down like a lot of the moments early on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Like it was about more like him trying to like get over it himself, like find his own way, and then it just throws God in and like, oh, now I have to really rely on God, and now I'm just pissing off all the religious people in the comments. I'm betting.
It's
Not that there's nothing wrong with it, but in a screenwriting standpoint, I don't think it works for this particular script.
I have to question because a lot of these movies have themes of God and like, you know, faith and things like that. But M
Some of
Night
them, yeah.
Shyamalan was Hindu, so I wonder why he chose a very Christian Western faith as the framework for his movies instead of something that's more personal to him and his upbringing. Like that is something I really wonder.
You know, was he Hindu? Hang on.
I believe he was. I looked it
Yeah. I
up
just
before this, but
apparently he was also like he attended Catholic schools,
okay, that could be it then. I just remember
but it
reading
said
that
it made him feel
he was
like,
Hindu growing up.
but it said it, but it said it also made him feel like an outsider. But this is an AI overview, so maybe it's wrong.
uh, yeah, I did very surface level research into his like life and stuff, just because I feel like he's one of the things that his movies has, and it's like a strength, is that they're very personal to him. Like not just the fact that he's in the movies himself, but like they
Yeah,
all
he's
take place in Philadelphia, or mention Philadelphia, other than two of them. Because like that's where he grew up. That's his home, and so like he wants
yeah,
to pay homage to that.
yeah. Some of them can't take place in Philadelphia. Like I don't know, maybe like the part of Earth in After Earth they were in was where Philadelphia was, and it's just so overgrown we can't recognize it.
They crash landed in Philadelphia the whole time.
That's the real twist of After Earth.
I'm telling you, Last Airbender, it takes place in fantasy Philadelphia. That's why everyone's white.
Where's Charlie Day and Danny DeVito in Last Airbender? Get the real Philadelphia experience.
All right, so next up is Sixth Sense, and this is like the Shyamalan movie, the one that everyone always talks about as like his best work and what really put him on the map and like gave him a name. And like we said earlier, I was underwhelmed. I didn't hate it. I thought it was fine, but there wasn't anything about it that blew me away. And it could be because I already knew the twist. It could be like knowing the twist makes the experience more underwhelming because one of the things that I've heard a lot of people say is going into the movie not knowing the twist is like the revelation at the end makes you rethink every interaction. And like I kind of get that, but also I feel like it was obvious. Like they literally have the kid say, "I see dead people. They don't know that they're dead." And when he's saying that, it literally just zooms in on Bruce Willis's face. And like I know that's supposed to be like for him to be like shocked at what the boy is saying, but the framing of it is very clearly just giving away the twist.
Not to mention the beginning of the movie kind of like gives it away too. Like we see him get shot, then like the title happens, and then it cuts to him just being fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like there's little small things here and there that I think is really good. Like when he's trying to open the door that's locked, and then at the end it's revealed, oh, the door wasn't locked. It was shut off. Like there was things blocking the way. Or the dinner scene when he and his wife go to dinner and she's like not talking to him, and then it's revealed, oh, because he wasn't there, like she wasn't ignoring him. She just went to eat by herself.
The movie gets like a bit funnier when you think about these scenarios that Bruce Willis's character is in, where he's like trying to socialize and communicate with these people, like his wife or the kid's mom, or just like trying to order food or something, and they're just ignoring him, like, hi, I'd like the number three, please. Hello,
Yeah.
hello.
And like this is probably me thinking too much about it, but I do think about a lot of the like just implications of things like Bruce Willis's character was the boy's therapist. Like, he was there to help him. But if he was dead the whole time, then what happened to the boy's actual therapist? Because clearly he had a therapist. His mom was taking him to therapy, but he just went off with Bruce Willis and they went to go crash a funeral.
I don't know if they ever. I can't remember if they ever said like Bruce Willis was his therapist when he was alive,
hmm
and he's just like continuing work. No, no, wait. No, wait. At the beginning, like they're like introducing each other, right?
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
having
yeah.
like a
So,
first introduction scene.
so the first time they meet, he's already dead.
hmm
Yeah. Okay. So where's his actual therapist?
I don't know. That's what I said. Like yeah, maybe I'm just thinking too much into it, but it's just one of those things that it's like it throws me
I don't.
off.
I don't know. Maybe the therapist was off at like Disneyland. Sometimes my therapists like take vacations and it takes a bit.
Oh, couldn't be me. I don't take vacations. I'm a workaholic. I mean, I'm taking a vacation next month, but other than that,
Hey kid, I know you're going through a lot with the divorce and yada yada yada, but Disneyland, BRB.
uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, like I think my only real like actual gripe with the movie, the only thing that I will never shut up about this, Bruce Willis is a terrible therapist. He did not help that boy. He spent the whole movie projecting his problems onto him. He was like, yeah, my wife won't talk to me. You're the therapist, why are you venting to this child? And like, that's just me being a therapist and being like, bad. You lose your license, you deserve to get shot. But
When the therapist, whoa, deserves to get shot for. Okay, a bit much, but yeah,
okay,
whatever.
I take that back. Bruce Willis did not deserve to get shot in The Sixth Sense, but he was clearly a terrible therapist. So like, I
License
mean,
revoke.
yeah,
When the therapist needs his own therapist.
that would have solved everything. That would have solved the entire movie.
Bruce Willis needed his own Bruce Willis to counteract the Bruce Willisness.
Yeah. The other thing that just kind of like bugs me a little bit, it's again a small thing. The rules feel really inconsistent. We're told that the ghosts, they're dead, but they don't know that they're dead. But then when they go to the funeral, when they crash that funeral, the dead girl, the ghost of the dead girl, gives him the videotape about how she was murdered, and like, why would she have that, and why would she give it to him if she didn't know that she was dead?
We do know, like, with Bruce Willis, like, finding out that he is dead, like, maybe she just found out a lot earlier than usual. Like, some ghosts take a lot longer to find out.
Mm-hmm.
There could be other ghosts that find out, like, immediately.
Yeah. It's a little unclear. It's a little bit vague, and like again, it's not a huge problem. It doesn't ruin the movie or anything. There's small little gripes, but I don't know. I guess for me, it's like I liked the movie. I was a little bit overwhelmed. I get why people give it so much praise, but it's nowhere near his best work. And like for a second movie, yeah, pretty great. I think that it deserves credit, but
Yeah, for
um,
a second movie to get this much notoriety and, like, praise, that's actually very impressive.
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give it A. I think A's nice.
We shit on it a lot and still give it an A.
That goes to tell you the quality of these movies moving forward. Went into A and we still shit on it.
This is good. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Uh, Next one's pretty decent though.
Okay, so for the Sixth Sense, the twist. Oh, this is so hard to rate because like we knew the twist beforehand, but I feel like
We we
even if I
can't
didn't know
say
the
it's
twist, I could have seen it coming. I'm gonna say predictable.
we can't really yeah. I couldn't really say predictable because like I knew about a twist from like people spoiling it, like
hmm
YouTubers and all that,
Yeah, it's the
and
most
like
widely known twist. Like everyone knows this twist, even people that don't even know this. I knew this twist before I knew this movie. For the longest time, I thought The Sixth Sense and The Ring were the same movie.
the Ring. What
Yeah,
did you
whenever
think the
people talked
Sixth
about The
Sense
Sixth
was
Sense,
like?
I was like, "Oh, that's the movie with the girl in the videotape, right?" And they were like, "No, that is not The Sixth Sense."
I am boggled by that by the link, but these are very different movies.
I don't know. In my mind, I just maybe it's because of the poster. Like the six is like kind of similar to like the Ring's ring. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
Kinda, I guess.
All right, so Unbreakable. This is another one that I have gripes with in terms of the way people talk about this movie. People talk about this movie as if it's like this groundbreaking deconstruction of comic book movies, and it's not. It's not at all. They have like two, maybe three comic book tropes. The rest is just referencing comic books, and it's
I
not
wouldn't
even
say it's a
real comic books. It's
deconstruction
mixed
of
up
comic
ones.
book heroes, more just like an early example of what would happen if someone in real life got superpowers. Like early example of grounded superhero stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Like I
Because
think
this
that's a
is
much
like
better way of putting it than saying it's like a deconstruction.
this is like pre Nolan Batman, pre Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like,
Like back
mm-hmm.
when everyone was like thinking like, oh, it's all kid stuff and like silly costumes and bat nipples. Bat nipples was still very recent back then for
Yeah,
this
yeah.
movie.
This is like it's like in that transitionary period where like they were barely starting to get like taken seriously because of stuff like, Batman the animated series and stuff like
We
that.
just got Blade. We were just X-Men just came out, I'm thinking, or at
Mm-hmm.
least was about to.
Yeah, so from that perspective, I can definitely understand it being seen as like this more mature or more like serious take on superheroes and superhero tropes, but I just don't see this as a superhero movie or a comic book movie. I don't think that there's enough substance for it to be either one, cuz like he doesn't do any heroics until the very end of the movie, which is just one thing, just saving that one group of girls, and
The,
that's
the
kind of it.
kidnapped ones, yeah.
So like he's
He
not he's
also
not a superhero. He's not like
there's also
it's not
like
an origin
his
story.
his main power is like he's unbreakable, indestructible, yada yada. But he also has this secondary power where he touches you and can like see your crimes or like see what you've done.
Yeah,
I thought
it's
that just kind of came out of nowhere, to be honest.
they explain it, but the explanation just feels kind of weak. It feels like they just try to like comic book logic their way out of it, and like that feels cheap to me. That feels really cheap. Um,
I think they just needed a reason for him to like uh know where these crimes are happening instead of like the typical way of like hacking a police radio or like just brooding on a rooftop
yeah, yeah.
looking
It
out
feels
in
like
the city.
very much like a shortcut or just like a way to be able to right away be like, oh yeah, this is
Like
what's
he can't
happening.
have Superman's superhearing and he can't have Batman's like radio surveillance around the city and he can't have Spider-Man's speed swinging through the city to get around it in time.
Hmm.
So he needs this memory viewer thing. It's weird.
I guess like for my problems with the movie, for my issues with it, what I can say positively is that I think it's it is enjoyable. Like it is a pretty enjoyable movie. There's nothing too too dull or too slow. There are some moments where it's kind of like nothing really happens, but it's not like too often. I feel like the pacing in the movie is pretty good. Things move forward pretty good. Um, I really uh, I like Mr. Glass. I actually like him quite a lot, which is why I kind of hate what they do with him in Glass. But in
Oh
this
yeah,
movie, I
like
like him.
he is way better in this one than in Glass.
Yeah.
He actually kind of feels like a real comic book supervillain. I can see him like probably fighting Daredevil or Batman or something.
Hmm.
Someone on the more street level.
Yeah. So, um, I don't know. I guess I can put it in. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Come on, there we go. Here it is. I guess I can put it in B tier. I feel like that feels good. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
probably.
like it, but I feel like there's just like those issues and things where I don't know.
Yeah, I can agree with B. I'm like flipping between A and B to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely one of the better ones compared to the others.
Yeah, yeah. It's a pretty solid a solid movie. It's worth its fame. Like people really like this one. It's one of the more popular ones, and I think it earns that. I think it definitely earns the reputation that it gets. In
Whether it
terms,
earned those sequels is another thing.
yeah, in terms of the twist itself, I personally want to put the twist in predictable. I think it's very obvious that Mr. Glass is behind something. Like maybe not. It's predictable that he was like behind the whole thing, but like just it's obvious he was set up to be a villain. Just like the way he talks, the way that he sets things up with David. His name's
Hmm.
David. I was gonna call him Bruce Willis again, but we called the last character Bruce Willis, so this one actually should get a name.
Eh,
But yeah,
when
like
I
I don't know.
first saw
I
it,
just feel like it was pretty predictable that that Glass was going to be the villain of the movie.
when I first saw it, I honestly did not see it coming, but I was like 13
Mm-hmm.
or 12. I think I was 12 when I first saw it.
Yeah, yeah. This was my first time seeing the movie, but I knew the twist just because of Glass. Like the fact that Glass exists kind of gives away the twist. Um, but yeah, no, like for me, I felt like it was pretty predictable. I felt like his character is very much he has dialogue like a villain. Like they called me Mr. Glass. Who did?
Okay,
The
that's a
children.
dial or oh wait, that you mean the earlier times. I thought you were like quoting the one in the ending because like that's when it's already revealed he's the villain.
No, no, no. The when he earlier in the movie when he's like talking
Yeah.
about was he talking to like I forget who he was talking to, but he talks about how children would call him Mr. Glass. So
Yeah. I think it gets more obvious like as it goes on because like you start to realize, hey, wait, there's no villain. Wait, could one of them be the villain? Like it's a twist?
mm-hmm.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah. And then, oh, the other thing of note with this movie, just because I find it very hilarious, um, that boy was gonna shoot his dad.
Uh,
He wanted to prove he was invincible, so he just pointed a gun at him.
uh, funny how Bruce Willis went from getting shot immediately in the last movie to would tank a bullet in the next one.
Yeah. Uh, he told M Night Shyamalan, "I'm not doing another movie with you unless you promise I'm not getting shot again." So
Please
he wrote a
stop
character
aiming
who could
guns
never get
at
shot.
me. Stop aiming guns at me, dude.
All right, and now our fun's over because we get to signs, and I have such a negative experience with this movie. So
This was terrible.
this watch that we did together. This watch together. This was my
Yeah.
fourth time watching this movie. The first three times that I watched this movie was all at the same job. When I used to work at a youth care center, I used to work. It was a facility for youth. It was specifically like an immigrant program, so we were working together with immigrants, things like that. But the main point is we would always do like events and stuff for holidays, and one of the teachers there, because it was part therapy center, part school. One of the teachers there, she really loved this movie, and I don't know why, and I'll never understand why, but she loved it. So every Halloween, every October, she would play this movie for the kids at the center, and like we would have to watch it because like we're supposed to supervise the kids during like activities and movies and stuff. So I was just stuck there watching this movie over and over again every year, every October. So when I left that job, I was like, oh, good, I never have to watch that movie again. And now I had to watch that movie again. And it is just not a good movie.
Hey, hey, at least we won't make it a yearly tradition like that lady.
I hope not. If anyone ever requests this movie again, I'm just instant banning them from the server. That's like a new rule: do not request signs.
Yeah, you're not gonna catch me requesting because this was a snore fest. It it's definitely I think it was definitely a start of some Shyamalan tropes, like like on other movies, like a lot of the time his child characters act really weird.
Mm-hmm.
This was the first time it was getting noticeable. Like in Unbreakable, in Sixth Sense, and Wide Awake, they were fine, but this is when they were like, are these actually kids or are they aliens?
Yeah, yeah.
Or is
Like
this,
it's very just noticeable that Shyamalan does not know how to write kids.
or at
He gets
least he
better at
he
it. He
forgot.
gets better at it, but this is like one of the worst.
I wouldn't say he gets better because like he at first he was fine, then around this he started getting weird and it got like kind of flippant and then like I remember it coming back in full force with old.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to old, but it's definitely there.
Yeah,
But
and it's just the dialogue in this movie is really just like so terrible, um, especially from the kids. They don't talk like children. Their dialogue is not natural. It feels so stiff, so forced, um, and just like the characters, they have like nothing to them. Like they're so one dimensional, and then just like the ending of the movie, it's like my faith in God has been restored because my son's asthma saved his life. God gave him asthma to protect him from the aliens. And it's like, what is this rationalization?
yeah, yeah, that was definitely like that was definitely a that's gotta be one of the weirdest ways to have restored faith. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, I don't know. It's just like, I feel like there was so much that they wanted to do and then they didn't do it because there's just so many things that go nowhere. The thing about the the radio, like, the baby monitor that they can hear the aliens through, that never goes anywhere. Um, Everything that's going
Walking
on around the
Phoenix's
world, the aliens just randomly decide to leave, and like yeah, they probably left because they figured out this planet's 80% water, but
don't
that
know how
just
they
gets resolved
how
off screen.
how they didn't notice that.
Yeah, um, the
Commander, our scanners indicate that this planet is full of our own weakness. What should we do? And let's still invade. What could possibly go wrong?
and then just
Another
like the
thing that
kids
goes
in
nowhere.
general, like their characters, I feel like they feel so superficial in the sense that they exist purely to just lead to the resolution of, yeah, I have my faith restored because of what happened, because my daughter doesn't like water, so there was water everywhere and we needed that water, and my son has asthma, and it's like, this movie makes no sense. It's dull, it's boring, the dialogue is stiff, nothing gets resolved,
Another
these plots go nowhere. It's just a terrible movie.
another thing that went nowhere that I just remembered was like Joaquin Phoenix's character like having this scene where it's like, "Oh, you used to be great at baseball or whatever. Why did you stop?" And it's like, are they gonna like have him go back into it? And like, I can't even remember.
The only thing he does at the end is just swing the baseball bat at the alien. That's it. That's where the baseball plot goes. They kept his baseball bat on the wall. That's another thing. God removed him from baseball so that his bat would be there when they needed it.
God made you give up a successful career in baseball so you can live in this small town so you can smack an alien.
Like, this movie's idea of faith is so bad. It's like, see, I like the idea of a character regaining their faith because of the belief things happen for a reason. He lost his faith. He stopped believing in God because his wife died. His wife died in the car accident, and so he became jaded. He became cynical, and he said, "No, I don't believe in God if my wife is dead." So I like the idea of him regaining his faith by accepting everything happens for a reason. But the things that happen to lead him to that resolution are so nothing. Like, it's so
Then
forced.
Also, speaking of his dead wife, isn't M Night Shyamalan the killer?
Yeah, M Night Shyamalan's cameo in this movie is he's the one that killed his wife. He's the one that hit her.
Imagine a Spider-Man movie where Stanley's the guy that kills Uncle Ben. All right, true believer, put your hands up. Give me your car. Excelsior! Bang, bang, bang!
But yeah, this movie's just it's not good. It's not a good movie. We're putting this in F.
It's really not. It is, yeah, F. No arguments there.
Okay. And as for the twist, I mean, I just think the twist is plain up bad.
Hang
It's
on, wait.
yeah.
Which twist? Because I feel like there might be two.
So my twist, okay, so whenever people talk about the twist in this movie, the argument is the twist that the aliens are weak to water, or is the twist that everything that happened that led him to regain his faith in God? And like they're both valid twists, but personally, I like the idea that the twist is my son's asthma was a gift from God because that's just so stupid.
I wasn't even thinking of the second one you mentioned. I was thinking either water or asthma.
Yeah, so both of them are bad. Both the aliens are weak to water. That's a bad twist because what aliens decide to invade a planet that's 80% water when they're weak to water?
I
And
mean, we're trying to like move to Mars, and that's like already proven to be a hostile environment for us. I don't know. Maybe they would have built dome cities like we do in sci-fi movies.
maybe the alien version of Elon Musk was the one that led this project to Earth, and he was like, "It's okay, guys. The water won't hurt us. I promise. It's not
Maybe
that big
that's
a
the one.
deal."
Maybe that's the one Mel Gibson killed. Elon Musk alien versus Mel Gibson. Go nuts.
Now that's a terrible matchup. Okay. So the next one up is The Village, and I have such mixed feelings on this one. This is one that
I
I liked it, and then I didn't like it, and then I liked it, and then I hated it.
I only saw a bit of it because I kind of got bored and like had something else to do.
Hmm.
And but I already do know the twist of like there it was in modern times the whole time. Like, aren't they like just a few miles away from Philadelphia?
Yeah, yeah, they are literally like right on the outskirts. So what it is it's like where they live, where the village is. It's a private nature reserve that one of the village elders like he was like some rich guy that owned the land, so he made it private and then he paid off the government to make it a no fly zone so that no planes would ever go over it. And it has like park rangers that are like constantly monitoring to make sure nobody gets in or out. It's like this whole thing. And so the idea is that the village was founded by a group of trauma survivors who all experienced some kind of traumatic incident and wanted to escape from modern society and live a simpler life. And like, I mean, that's cool. I like that, but it
Why
retroactively
not
just
just go
kills the
to
movie for me.
Kansas or some farm country land? Like, why spend like God knows how much money on all this security and paying the government to have it a no-fly zone?
they
What was
they
there
wanted the
traumatic experience like
authentic
plane
pilgrim
related?
experience.
Was there traumatic experience plane related, and that's why they don't want to see planes?
It's it's so convoluted, and I hate the twist in this movie because I think it retroactively ruins the movie. Like I was actually interested in the concept of there's this village and there are monsters that you know they the monsters do not attack the village unless the villagers try to leave. It's like if you enter the woods, then the monsters will come for us. Like that was an interesting concept. That was pretty cool, and I liked you know, the 1800s aesthetic and like just everything about it. I was interested in it. I liked it. It was slow at first. It was kind of dull and boring, but like I thought the concept was interesting, and it's just like nope. those monsters were never real, just people in costumes, even though they make noises that could not be made by humans and they move in unhumanly way. And the people, like the village elders who are in on the secret, were talking about the monsters as if they were real in a scene where it was only them, so they had no reason to keep up the pretext of a lie. They just did it so the movie doesn't spoil the twist yet. It's like,
Maybe they were. Maybe it's not lying. Maybe they were just really into roleplay. Like they would have gone hard on Dungeons and Dragons.
they don't break character until someone says pause.
They don't break character until the dungeon master folds up his board.
But yeah, like it was a good concept. It was a good. I liked what they had going on. I was pretty interested in it, even if it was kind of slow and boring. I was like, well, this is a fine enough concept. Maybe it's just like poor execution, but then everything's just not true. Everything is just a lie. They're in modern times, and it's just a
With
bunch of rich
how many
people
of
trying
these
to role play as pilgrims.
with how many of these movies take place in Philadelphia, I wonder if you could make like an actual like connection. Like you know that one video that like tried to put all the Adam Sandler movies into one universe or something.
Yeah.
You could probably do that with this.
Don't
I feel
tempt
like
don't
there's
tempt
enough.
me. I'll do it. I'll do it.
If
I'll get it out like in 2 or 3 months, but I'll do it.
there's obviously some have more restrictions on others, like Last Airbender,
A fantasy
but
Philadelphia.
but uh, but the others, I think there's enough like elbow room to like squeeze in some connections of like saying like, yeah, they all take place in the same universe, but they never really connect or anything. But it's the same universe.
Yeah, all right, all right. I got you right now. Okay, watch this. Okay, so because God was busy role playing as an elementary school student, he was not able to save the pastor's wife in Signs, and the boy that can see dead people in the Sixth Sense is actually just a super powered individual like David and Mr. Glass.
That actually sounds legit. The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable connection. I mean, not
Okay,
not
good.
the God, not the God was too busy part.
He
That
was too
that's
busy role
that's
playing as an
hila-
elementary school student to save his wife. So he was like,
I
"Fuck,
mean,
how do I
I
make him
mean
believe in
that
me
is
again? Send the aliens."
that is absolutely hilarious though, and I would love if that was legit, but I doubt it.
He sent the aliens because that was the only way he could think to get him back after he lost his wife. He was like, "Well, time to push the alien button."
He just makes aliens. It's not like they have like centuries of history on another planet. No, he just made them like pop up out in orbit and come down here.
That's why they went away so quickly. He was like, "Okay, you guys are done. You can go back now."
God just like saw like he's got his faith. All right, guys, back it up. You're good to go back now.
Okay, so yeah, for the village, I think this
Hmm.
one I'm probably gonna I want to say D. Oh, stop doing that. I hate this trackpad
It's
sometimes. It's so finicky.
it's more like the ad. Like you're hovering over in like that little gray
Oh, I didn't even
little
notice
gray
that. What
spot.
the heck? How do I get rid of this? This is huge. Oh, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
care.
covering the whole bottom area.
No wonder I keep messing up. Okay, whatever. I'll just ignore it for now. So yeah, I'm gonna say D. Like that to me feels apt. It feels
Yeah,
accurate.
I think D is fitting. Like, it's not as bad as Signs. Like, Signs was like a total. Okay, I can't even talk much because I never even saw the whole movie. But the bit I did see, it's like I could see it not being as bad as Signs.
Yeah. Okay. And then as for the twist in the village, that's an easy one. This is a bad twist. Ruins the movie.
Would you say it's bad or unnecessary? Because you said like the twist kind of ruined it for you.
I mean, okay, technically unnecessary is more accurate, but also I just think it's a bad twist. So, and bad is
All
lower on
right.
the list, so I want to put it as low as I can.
I mean, the lowest you can get is no twist, which some do apply. Like, it is funny how there just aren't any, despite being known for twists.
Mm-hmm. There's only a couple of movies that have no twists. There's one movie that actually has no twists, where the fact that it has no twists works really well. You didn't see that one. We'll get to it when we get to it, but yeah,
Yeah, there was like Last Airbender, like I mean, obviously, because it's based off of like a different writing style. Like
yeah.
Air Avatar doesn't really rely on like huge plot twists like Shyamalan does.
You think you think if Shyamalan was given like full creative freedom over the Last Airbender, that his twist would have been that Aang was the Avatar? Like we wouldn't have known that until the end of the movie.
God, that sounds like the Borderlands movie.
Oh,
I
my bad.
rem-
Ong is the Avatar.
that is legit what the Borderlands movie is. It takes the fact that one of the main characters has these special powers and like that is like legit the first thing you know about her in the game. Like it's her
Hmm.
whole gameplay mechanic, and the movie just says like let's hide it and make it a plot twist. Even though like we're trying to get Borderlands fans to watch this movie,
Uh huh.
they'll already know.
Wow, that's okay. That's something. That's definitely a marketing strategy.
Yeah, and it bombed. Can you believe it?
Okay. Um, Lady in the Water,
Lady,
or as I like to call it, M. Night Shyamalan can't take criticism. The movie.
this was fucking amazing in the worst way.
This movie's so bad, but it is so
But
fun to make fun of it.
it is such an ego trip. A total ego trip. Lady in the water, more like ego in the sky. It's that high up.
Man, people liked Sixth Sense and Unbreakable. So when people didn't like Signs in the Village, M. Night Shyamalan was like, "Oh, I'll show you. I'll show you what I can write."
Allegedly. We don't know for sure like the thought process of writing this.
Yeah, and it's just
But
I don't know. Like the critic in this movie is the worst character, the worst person ever. He's obnoxious. He's a snob. He's pretentious. He's everything that comes out of his mouth is just film
he
drabble.
he makes the nostalgia critic look three-dimensional and like he's out of a Christopher Nolan movie. That's how bad he is.
Like the guy is literally like face to face with the killer wolf dog thing, and he's like, "This is the part in the movie where," and it's like, "Why are you monologuing? Hello."
Dude really thinks all critics are like just thinking about movies constantly, like
Hmm.
rent free in their heads. Movies are rent free in their heads.
And then like the other thing is, when they go to the critic for advice, they're like, "Oh, we need to find the storybook characters. Like we need to fill the roles." And he like assigns everyone, and then he's just completely wrong. So everything the critic does in this movie is terrible. Like
Th-
it's all
There was another
just
there was another scene where it's like he was looking for writers and he went to the critic thinking like, oh, surely he must like have like a movie script in the works or something, and he's like, nope. No, I don't. I do not write. I am a critic. Snubby snub snub.
it's just so just so pretentious, so snobbish, such a caricature. Like he's not a character. He is literally just a stand-in for M. Night Shyamalan to vent his frustrations with critics. It's
Even
all
though
that's the only
like
purpose he serves.
he, it kind of does like show like we more remember like the bad things said from people than the good things because like they praised like can we even count right away? Because I feel like no one really knows about that.
I don't think many people know about it. I remember when I made like the list of movies that we were gonna watch, I had at least two or three people be like, "What movie is this?" And I'm like, "I've never heard of it."
So in the general consensus, it's literally like two of his movies were received well, and two after were received bad. So he just got all pissy about the two that even though like 50% like they liked and 50% they
Yeah.
didn't like. Like
So
yeah, like the fact that this is like I don't even know what like the budget is, but it's gotta be like millions of dollars or something. Like spending all this money getting all these actors on a vent piece on your creativity and why you're such a genius and why the critics are wrong. It's terrible. Like
mhm.
art and movies can have a message behind it, some real world meaning, but this just isn't a good reason to make a movie.
The movie itself also just isn't. It doesn't have anything going on for it other than just making fun of how much of an ego trip it is for Shyamalan. Like he gave himself the role of a brilliant writer whose writing is so inspiring that it'll lead a boy to becoming the greatest president, but it's also so controversial that he's murdered, and it's like, did you write this character just so it could be you? Did you write this role just for you and then write the critic just to like
And he's also so humble, like, ah, shucks, my work's not that special. Oh man, the title's just terrible, right? It'll never get anywhere. And then he has to be told like, no, you are the greatest writer who ever lived, and yada yada yada. You will change the world indirectly, yada yada yada.
yeah, it's I don't know, like it just this movie doesn't have anything going for it aside from M Night Shyamalan's ego trip. Like if you remove that aspect of it, I don't remember anything about this movie. There's an
I
elf
remember like
lady, a dog wolf thing, fairy tale
I remember
creatures.
like I remember like the batshit insanity of like finding all these people with roles and eventually leads to like the prophet or whatever being a kid that tells the future through cereal boxes.
The the word of God as told through the cereal box.
Quickly, child, what does this box of Captain Crunch say?
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm kind of torn on this one. I'm torn between C and D because like there
I
is that entertainment value in terms of just ripping this movie apart. That's fun, but the movie itself is boring. There's nothing going on, and it's an ego trip. So I'm not gonna call it good by any metrics, no matter how fun it is to dunk on it.
If we could like just like name these ranks, I would probably give a rank like watch it with friends.
That is accurate. I would say that. Yeah, like this is not something
Get
to
a
experience on your own, but like with other
get
people.
some get some friends, particularly ones who have never heard of this movie in their life. Sit them down and tell them that it'll be worth it in the end because it is an experience.
Hmm. You know, I'm just gonna dump it into D. I think D feels good. We can move it later, but I like D for now.
Yeah, I'm also like, I do I do like see your thought of like putting it in C because like it can be very entertaining. In a particular way.
Hmm. Okay, and then as for the twist of this movie, um,
What what is the twist
so
exactly?
from what I've seen, the twist is supposed to be that the roles that they were assigned were wrong, and it was actually different characters in the role. But that doesn't really feel like a twist. That just feels like a natural part of the narrative, and
Not to
also
mention
that's
there,
like three
not to
fourths of the
mention
way
there's
through
like
the movie.
there's multiple scenes of them discovering like different roles of like different people that were meant for these roles. Like,
Yeah,
and
it
there's like
doesn't
this
feel like a
one scene
twist to
where
me. That just feels like a natural progression of the plot. Like when you think twist, you think of something that happens at the last minute or very close to the end that reframes how you see the movie. Uh,
but the
and
only
that
thing that
doesn't really do
like
it.
kind of gets close to that was like that muscle like bodybuilder guy is the guardian and like they have this dramatic music and like epic
Yeah, yeah, like
score and
that.
scenery
That I could see
but
being
like
the twist is the reveal of who the guardian is. But even then, it's I don't know.
and there's also like this shot of like the entrance showing that the place is called the Cove and like what's that shot for? What's the twist?
You know, I think the real twist was that this movie was M Night Shyamalan's way of getting back at the critics and making himself feel good after his last two movies bombed.
Maybe the real twist is that M. Night Shyamalan inspires the president.
That was the twist. The twist was that. Also, the
it
name of
just
his book that inspires the president is the Cookbook. What is in that book?
he he did say it was a terrible title for it, so he could have changed it like in the future. But from what I remember, he said it was like a political piece. So it's just a book full of his political hot takes, I guess.
There you go. That's the Cookbook. Political hot takes. How to get
Yeah,
roasted in
never.
political debates. The Cookbook.
I can think of certain people that would probably have that book. Don't want to say name. Don't want to name names. Don't want to name names.
No, but it's a good book. It inspires a good president, and he
Hey, you
gets
don't know that.
killed because.
Hey, you don't know that. You never know what like the quality of good is for like these water like elf things.
True. Yeah.
Maybe maybe it's good for them that because like this president like just brings America to ruins and it allows them to like drown them into the water. Now America is ours. Mwahaha. Maybe that's the twist. Maybe the water narfs. Yeah, oh yeah, they're called
They're
narfs.
called
I almost
Narfs.
forgot.
Yeah. That's a twist.
Narf.
The Narfs were evil the whole time. They were trying to flood the earth.
That's the real twist is they were led by Pinky from Pinky and the Brain. It's all an
Wait,
elaborate.
hold up. I got another connection for us. Okay, so the water is poison to the aliens because the aliens are weak to the Narfs. Yeah, there you go.
They're the sworn. They're the other sworn enemy of the Narfs.
The Narfs and the aliens used to be at war with each other until the Narfs evolved to become toxic to the aliens.
The Narfs represent water, man represents land, and the aliens represent the sky and beyond.
This timeline's gonna get crazy when we throw the happening in there because now the plants are evil.
God, yeah.
Water's poisonous to aliens. Plants is
Occasionally
poisonous to
evil.
humans.
Occasionally evil. Water's bad, plants are bad. What else is bad? Air?
There you go. That's our last Airbender connection. All the elements are bad.
Water, earth, fire, air. Long ago, the four nations lived together in harmony. Then, everything changed when they all decided to be dicks and attack humanity.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say, okay, I don't want to say no twist because like technically there's twists, but they're all pretty dumb. So I'm just gonna say unnecessary.
It's I feel like there is a twist, but it's like so vague and like kind of kind of like I don't know if there even is one. Like
Yeah,
thinking about it, like
it's that weirdness of like it feels like there's a twist. It feels like there is something, but you just don't know what it is, and it's so vague, and it's like it's just unnecessary. The film would have been better with no twists. Just play it straightforward. Just be like, "Yes, we love you, M. Night Shyamalan. You are a brilliant writer."
yes, yes. Let us kiss the ground you walk on, M. Night Shyamalan. Let us shine your
Yeah.
boots.
All right. So next is The Happening. Also, by the way, just so you know, following Lady in the Water, we have a streak of awful movies. Some would argue the awful movies started with The Village, but I think Lady in the Water is the start of the downfall era for Shyamalan because these next few movies are all really stinkers.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot in common. Well,
uh,
well, the last two are bad. The first two are original titles, and the last two are adaptations.
hmm We watched all of these in a span of a week. We had a week of just shit movies.
Just absolute garbage.
Okay, but
Absolute cinema.
for The Happening, I feel like my biggest complaint with this movie is just that don't the characters don't act like the situation they're in is as dire as it is. Like I don't know, they just don't really like they don't it doesn't
The
feel like there's any tension. It doesn't feel like there's any stakes. It doesn't feel like anything really matters. The characters just kind of like go through
yeah,
events and
yeah,
are just like, yeah, that happened.
yeah, like Mark Wahlberg and Zoe Deschanel's characters are like going through this like holy shit crisis, and then like in the middle of it, they'll go like, so about our relationship problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like there's this part where he just stops the movie to a halt to that in a field full of grass, and he goes like, I was at a pharmacy earlier and I checked out that nice looking pharmacist.
They really
So we
take
could,
time away from what they believe to be the apocalypse to just hash out their
yeah,
relationship issues.
everyone's dying. They have no idea why. This guy's talking about hot dogs and like there's random kids joining your group that you don't even know. Where did those kids come from?
I don't know. I
Oh,
They
well, it
were just
doesn't
kind
matter.
of
They're
there, I
dead.
guess. I don't know.
It's I know this is funny because of what the title is, but things literally just happen.
Basically, yeah, this movie really is the happening. Things just happen, and then I find it so funny how this is like people made a big deal out of this being like Shyamalan's first R-rated movie, and it's like he's really going like all out. He's pulling out all the stops, and it's like this. I don't get this why this
I,
movie's rated R. This movie did not deserve an R rating. We see people
like
kill themselves, but it's not on screen. They always conveniently pan away, and when they don't pan away,
there's
there's like very little graphicness of it.
yeah, like I I did like I was watching Kingsman earlier this week, and I also noticed like that movie was also rated R, but it's not as bloody, so kind of makes me wonder if there's like a certain amount of blood you can have in an R rating, and like they put a guy in a meat grinder and it's
Hmm.
like super freaking clean, no blood like splatting everywhere.
Interesting. Yeah, I honestly
Yeah,
don't know how movie ratings work. Sometimes movies will get, uh, sometimes movies will get like an R rating, and I'll be like, that was pretty tame. Like I don't get why it had an R rating. And then it's also like arbitrary because if you say fuck more than once, it's automatically rated R. So it's like, yeah, guys, we can show
yeah,
this
that
blood and tease and stuff, and that'll be
yeah,
PG-13. But you say fuck more than once, you're getting an R.
yeah, that's definitely why Kingsman is rated R, not like blood and stuff, because like,
Yeah, PG-13 movies
yeah,
are only allowed to say fuck once, and it can't be used in
I,
a sexual context.
I, I don't think that Shyamalan wanted this to be rated R. I don't think so, because watching it just feels like the run of the mill like way he does movies.
Yeah,
Either he
yeah.
didn't want it, either he didn't want it to be rated R, and it just ended up that way, because like he kind of just put too many scenes of people killing themselves,
Mm-hmm.
or like he wanted to make it rated R, but he's so not used to rated R material that like he just uh he just didn't like go all the way.
Yeah, I definitely think this movie is a very prime example of a really great concept, really poor execution because it's just a boring movie. The characters don't
Everyone
take the
and
stakes seriously. Nothing feels like it matters. Things just happen. It's boring. It's so boring.
and everyone talks weird. This was a similar issue when Lady in the Water and even Signed and pretty much all of them. But like Lady in the Water, like Paul Giamatti is just like constantly stuttering like throughout the movie, and it's like they're I this is these two movies have like a lot of gimmicks for some characters. He tries
Mm-hmm.
to put like the gimmick like, oh, this guy stutters. Oh, this kid loves cereal boxes. Oh, this guy loves crossword puzzles. Oh, this guy loves math equations. This guy is all about science.
Yeah, yeah.
This guy
It's definitely like
loves
there's
hot
a lot of like
dogs.
quirky characters like that. Yeah.
And they're often main characters. Like quirky characters like I feel should be like side characters that like comic relief.
Mm-hmm.
When they're the main character and it's supposed to be a serious movie like these two are, it's just kind of weird.
Yeah. I mean, all things considered, I think this movie's bad. It's boring. It's dull, but it's not it's not terrible aside from being boring. So like, I'm perfectly fine putting this in C, which I think is
It's
generous. But compared to the next few coming up, C feels right.
happening. I also think would be in a watch with friends thing. Like
Hmm.
this one's a bit more popular than Lady in the Water because of all the memes and stuff. Like Mark Wahlberg's "What? No," his terrible
Yeah,
acting.
yeah.
But like, if you can find friends that have never seen this movie, don't know that much about it, or know anything at all, definitely like put it down and watch it with them.
Hmm.
And now the most painful one.
Alright, and then
Oh wait,
first,
all right, I forgot the
it's
twist.
okay.
I
To
forgot.
the happening twist, the plants are
The
evil.
plants did it.
Yeah.
This was a poison ivy plot, and we just forgot that Batman existed.
Man, this is hard because like it's not a predictable twist. There's nothing that really like gives it away. I don't say it's a
No, 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 no,
bad
no, 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 no,
twist.
no, no, wait, wait, wait. No, wait, wait. No, no, they do give it away. Early on, like, not early on, but like way before it should be revealed, the hot dog guy, like, goes like, I think I know what's going on. It's the plants. They can release chemicals.
Oh, you're
He gives
right.
it a,
Yeah.
and that's like right after his whole, like, you like hot dogs, don't you? So that's like, as, like, a little after, like, we really get to know him, like, around, like, halfway through the movie, I think.
Mhm.
So so they just like give it away and like don't even like try to subvert it. Like, nope, the plants did it.
Yeah.
I guess, or maybe like the twist was like there was like a little quick brief mention of like possibly like a chemical plant like seeping through and like affecting the chemicals in like the whole area,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
across multiple states in a general area. It wasn't like it wasn't like countrywide.
Yeah, but then at the end of the movie, they show that the same thing is happening in France. So
Yeah, and that's like way further away.
I don't know. This is such a hard one to say.
It's not predictable because the movie just flat out gives it away.
Mhm. I wouldn't necessarily say it's bad. I do think it's like a pretty good twist. I do think that having the
It's not we can't say we saw it coming because they give it away.
mhm.
Maybe
um
it is predictable because like they tell it to you before they
yeah,
fully
I guess
reveal the
that works.
twist.
That works. Yeah. Also, we're just gonna get
They
this out of the way
tell it,
now. Last Airbender has no twist.
yeah, because it's like a whole different script. Like it's
Mhm.
based off someone else's script and all that.
Yeah. Okay. So as for Last Airbender itself, I
F
think I'll let you take this one. You have a lot you want to say about this one.
F. It is flat out F. How do you try to adapt like 20 episodes? Granted, some of them you can definitely take out, but that you're trying to adapt a whole different like format of storytelling into a different one, and like sometimes it can work, but sometimes it just does not. And this is definitely a case where it just does not. There's the whitewashing and like the name mispronunciations and taking this like brightly colored brightly colorful like somewhat lighthearted but some also dramatic and like comedic even world where like
Mm-hmm.
yeah there's dark stuff happening like the genocide of the airbenders the like tyranny of the fire nation and like all that and everyone has dead parents
Uh huh.
but like that but then you like just take out all the bright stuff and just make it like very dull and boring and really just takes away all the beauty of the original show.
Yeah, I think my biggest issue with this movie is that even if you remove like the source material, like even if you remove any bias, if someone has never seen Avatar: Last Airbender in their life and this is their first experience with this universe, this franchise, this world, it's a terrible way to experience it because um Katara and Sokka do nothing. They're not really
They
characters. They serve like no purpose. They don't really do anything. Um
it's because like a lot
they
of their
have like
focused
two or
episodes
three
were
lines
cut.
with Aang, and then suddenly it's like, yeah, it's like this guy we just met. Yeah, we're totally gonna go save him. It's
We cut out the Kyoshi Warriors. We cut out the episode with Jet. We cut out all episodes like focusing on them. We keep the Blue Spirit though.
yeah, like the only characters that matter in this movie are really just Aang and Zuko. Nobody else matters. Like Iroh doesn't feel like he has any impact or weight to him. Um, Zhao is
Iroh
supposed to be
also
the main antagonist, but he doesn't really do anything either. He just kind of like
Iroh was
grimaces.
also like also was Iroh is also like just like takes out all the whimsy. Like you can argue if he really should be like a fun character when he is part of a tyrannical empire,
Mm-hmm.
but like it's also a kid show, so like yeah, you gotta have something. But he's also like sort of an inside agent, and that whole comedic side of him li- kind of like helps you like lean into that when it's eventually revealed.
Yeah, exactly. It's um, I just feel like there's nothing here. There's no substance, and like I get it. It's a movie compared to a what 20 something
20
episodes.
episodes,
Okay,
20
20.
episodes of around 20.
Okay, yeah. So like I get it. Obviously they're not gonna have the same amount of time to develop things or like flesh things out, but they should have chosen better what parts to keep and what not to. The
Like
Netflix
yeah,
live
obviously
action
we're
does
not
a
gonna
lot
have
better in terms of keeping the important things while condensing it to a shorter amount of time.
there's definitely like some issues with the Netflix show that I have, but that's like a whole other thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
But I but I
Netflix
do
isn't
think that
great
it
either, but it's a huge improvement over this in every single way. The bending is also terrible in this. It's so stiff. It is so motionless. Like
and
when they do earth bending, the rocks move so slowly. It's like, really?
it's
This is earth
it
bending?
doesn't feel it feels more like you know how like in Star Wars, especially like the old Star Wars movies, the way they like hover objects is like very slow, but it's still impactful because of like the music they play, and it's not like they're trying to like do it in action scenes. They're
Mm-hmm.
doing that style in action scenes.
Yeah, I get what you mean, and definitely, yeah. You just so the choreography is bad, the action's bad, the acting is bad, the story's bad, the characters are non-existent. There's just nothing about this movie that is redeemable. And like I used to defend this movie not because I thought it was good, but because I thought a lot of the hate stemmed from people who were fans of the original, fans of the cartoon, that just didn't like the creative adaptive choices. But again, even if you remove everything about the original and look at it just in a vacuum on its own, it's still terrible on every merit.
Yeah, it's not like how like you can like watch an MCU movie and like this or like any comic book movie, not even just MCU movie, because there's like ones before that you can put this argument with. You can like say like, yeah, this is not at all what the characters are like, but like in a vacuum, it's still like engaging and entertaining. Like, yeah, it's weird Robin's 25 in this Batman movie, but like it kind of works, I guess.
Yeah, so uh, it's F. It's flat up F. This is
Yeah, Spider-Man has organic web shooters when he really should, and now people like argue whether he should or shouldn't now. But hey, it was just a matter of pacing. It's
mm-hmm,
fine.
yeah.
But yeah, F definitely works.
And so going from one adaptation to another, not adaptation, but also not original story, After Earth. And I think Shyamalan learned his lesson about adaptations because,
Oh no, he definitely didn't because Old is an adaptation. I've learned that actually.
well, Old and Knock at the Cabin at the Woods, those are both adaptations, but those are adaptations done right, or at least right comparatively to this. So,
We'll get to Old. I have thoughts on Old.
yeah. Old is going to be one of those where I feel like there's going to be like hard to find the right placement, but yeah.
Yeah,
So
but yeah,
for
but
After Earth,
After Earth.
this movie's just
The,
not
it's
engaging at
kind of
all.
weird because like
Hmm.
it's more of a Will Smith and Jaden Smith movie than a Shyamalan movie because it's
Yeah,
based on a short story by Will Smith, if I remember.
yeah. I believe it was like like Will Smith wrote the story and like Shyamalan like adapted the screenplay and stuff. So it's like technically it's not an adaptation, but also it is. So like it's a weird middle ground area, but you can tell that this is not Shyamalan's style of movie. It doesn't have anything that really like fits with his movies. Like if this was a Shyamalan movie, like straight up 100% him, the reveal that they were on Earth the whole time, that would have been the twist. Like we would not have
Yeah,
known that right away
absolutely.
after they crashed.
Yeah, that definitely feels like it sort of reminds me of like the Village and the Twist, where like, oh, it's in modern times. Like that feels like a Shyamalan twist.
Yeah, yeah. So
But
like
yeah, I
that
I
that
looked
would have
it
been
up,
the twist, them being on Earth the whole time. But my problem with this movie is that like I don't feel like the relationship between Will Smith and Jaden Smith's characters is compelling. I don't feel like
which
there's
is
any reason to care about them, and Will Smith is just
you
in
have
this
this guy
role. He just doesn't work.
you have this guy known for his charisma and charm and like comedy, and you make him stoic.
Yeah,
Like, sure, actors can have range, but they also have strengths. And when you take away and when you put them away from their strengths, even at even when they are taking away their strengths to
hmm
like where they have it like a little bit of it, they can still make it work. But for Will Smith in this movie, there's just nothing that he is known for. No charisma, no charm, no comedy, nothing. Not even like loud energy, except for one scene where he shouts.
hmm yeah.
Now, granted, there is a reason for this. He is trained to be emotionless so the alien monsters can never detect him. But I think that they could have just gotten another actor that could have played that better.
He's so good at ghosting that he's never had a breakup. He just stops talking to them.
Even though he's married with kids.
But the other thing that like this movie really like just doesn't work is I feel like Jaden Smith's character, like his growth feels rushed and forced. Like him learning to master ghosting it literally just happens. There's no real build up to it because his confrontation with like the alien creatures that can smell fear, that is his first time actually confronting one, if you don't count the one that was like locked up earlier. Like this is his first encounter with one, and on the first try he gets ghosting. It would have worked so much better if early in the film, when they first crashed, he encountered the alien, he tries to ghost, he fails, he barely escapes with his life, and then he has to learn to master his fear over the course of the movie. Like, it's such a basic character arc, it's such a basic story, and they don't do that. Instead, oh no, there's monkeys and leeches and birds, and it's like, they said that everything on Earth adapted to kill humans, but there's nothing here that seems dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there is like a good, interesting movie in here, but it is just completely butchered. Like,
hmm
I remember like when this was like a number one at the box office hit, like a lot of people loved it at first. This, you know how like, actually, you know how like recently with comic book movies, like on like social media, everyone's like, "This is the best movie ever. The MCU is back. DC is back. Yada yada yada." And then
Uh-huh.
like a couple weeks or months later, to, as soon as it gets to like streaming or something, everyone's like, "Man, this movie was so mid."
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I definitely think like I mean after like after this run of bad movies, after The Village, The Happening, Lady in the Water, and Last Airbender, I think people wanted After Earth to be like the big we're back moment, but it's not. It is not the we're back moment. It's the
I
we're
don't,
still
I don't
suffering
think,
moment.
I don't think general audiences were like rooting for like M Night Shyamalan that much. I don't that they wanted their big back we're back moment. I don't think there was like a Shyamalan fandom. Where my
hmm
Shyamalanians at? Oh, in fact, I
Um,
didn't even know this was a Shyamalan movie at first.
Most people don't know it's a Shyamalan movie because it just doesn't mesh with his style. And again,
Yeah, he doesn't really
it's
do
more of an
sci-fi
adaptation
much.
than his writing. So
It's an
I'm
it's
so
okay.
torn between
I
DNF.
did like look this up to like get this right.
hmm
It is based on an original story idea by Will Smith about a father and son trip in the wilderness, but then it was like reworked, like basically went through like a bunch of drafts and writing to become this sci-fi survival movie.
I see. Okay. Um,
So yeah, it's not so much an adaptation. It's more like Will Smith wanted to do a thing, then it turned into this.
yeah,
So
I'll
I
do
guess
F.
it is. So I guess it is more of a Will Smith movie than a Shyamalan movie because it's definitely more Will Smith's vision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know
So
why he picked Shyamalan though.
I was going back and forth between D and F on this one because like I don't think it's as bad as Signs or Last Airbender, but at the end of the day, it's just the characters don't work in the role that they are. The story is so boring and dull. There's no character growth or arc or progression of anything, and it
We
doesn't feel like
spend
a
like
Shyamalan
nine
movie.
we spend like 95% of the movie with just two characters, and I don't care about either of them.
Just two characters that communicate exclusively through a screen.
And then they lose contact eventually.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's
And
the
now
worst.
he's like, so now like when it comes to Will Smith, he's pretty much like that guy that talks to the movie, like, come on, lady, get up, stop tripping. That guy's chasing you, run.
Hmm. Okay, so also no twist on that one. So next,
Unless like,
mhm.
unless you count like, oh, uh, oh, he's a master ghoster the whole time. Nah, nah,
That's
nah.
not a twist. It's called pulling a plot convenience out of your ass.
Eh, Ghosting ex machina.
Okay.
Uh,
The
now
visits.
one that now like one that I haven't seen at all.
So nobody saw this one because this is the day that I had to cancel because I was feeling pretty sick. I ended up watching this on my own because I just never had the time to reschedule the watch in the server. So like most people haven't seen this one, especially not like people in the server. But basically, this one is it's not part of like the Shyamalan flop era because it is like all right, it's fine. But the
Remind
biggest
me,
problem with this one is that it is probably peak Shyamalan does not know how to write kids.
remind me. This is the one where like the two kids are with the grandparents, but they're not actually their grandparents.
Yeah. So that's basically it. So the two kids going with their grandparents, and then so this movie is it's better than like the recent era, like the past few movies. Like it's definitely a step up, but the worst thing about this movie is just that it is the
Shyamalan
pinnacle
doesn't know
of
how to
Shyamalan
wle
does not know how to
kids,
write kids.
and the
One of the
kids are the
kids
main
is like
characters.
one of his things is that like he does like rapping and stuff, and it is just so
Oh
bad.
no.
It's so cringy. It's like this is one of our main characters, and I already don't like this kid, and he's been on screen for like 5 minutes.
Oh god.
And like I get it, kids are gonna do cringy stuff, but it's just not. It doesn't work.
That's the that's the thing though, like when you're making a kid, when you want to make a kid like likable and you want like the audience to like actually like adore them, like a good example I think is Nanako from Persona 4.
Hmm.
To be perfectly honest, she does not act like that much of like a quote unquote realistic kid. She's more like a more like I guess angelic view of a kid. Like she's the kind of kid that you wish kids would act like.
Hmm.
And but like you still like love her, but like and there's still like moments where like you can still see like, oh yeah, I could see this being like a real kid that I could like connect with and want to protect. Like
Yeah.
you gotta make you gotta like deal with some like unrealistic aspects of character writing to make them likable.
Yeah, I definitely think that that's like it's so hard to balance like writing kids and then also kid actors. Like, you know, I I'm never hard on kid actors. I always feel like people are unreasonably mean to kid actors. Like at the end of the day, they're kids, but it is undeniable that some kid actors just don't do the best job, and it does affect how the film turns out. And like that's not a fault of theirs. They're learning. It's sometimes their first few experiences, but that should be taken into consideration. If you're going to cast a kid as a main character and you're working with a kid actor that maybe needs more direction or needs more support, give that to them. Don't just leave them to like figure it out on their own, because then if the movie doesn't turn out good, they're going to have to deal with all the hate. And at the end of the day, they're a kid, so it's not on them.
Especially if it's like a big franchise and they end up like Jake Lloyd after
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Exactly.
Like
Mhm.
like the kids in the visit, they're probably like got off lucky because I don't know what they're doing right now. Maybe they're doing fine, maybe they're not. I don't know, but they gotta be doing better than Jake Lloyd. 'Cause
Yeah.
holy crap!
Yeah. So this one, I'm perfectly content with just tossing this into C. It's not the end of the Shyamalan flop era, but it's a good
We're
sign.
still in we're uh,
We
we're
are
about to
almost
get
done,
back.
by the way. We have a few movies left to go. We have one in A and none in S. So,
That but then again, an A for Shyamalan is like I don't know what a B plus, B minus.
uh, so the twist in the visit, God, I don't remember it. Like, I don't remember it exactly. It's a weird one. It's like,
Let me look it up.
yeah, that'll help. Just as like, it's like I know what the twist is, but I don't really know how to like explain it, put it into words, because it's one of those that's like kind of weird, kind of like it doesn't make sense if you don't watch the movie.
The main twist is that they are not their grandparents. They are actually escaped mental patients who murdered their real grandparents.
Is that
So,
okay? Okay, yeah, that actually okay. That tracks. I wasn't sure if that was the twist or not because like that's not like it's kind of revealed pretty not early on, but like not too late either. But I could definitely see that being the twist, yeah. Which is it is dark, like it is a pretty dark twist. Um, I think
was this one rated R?
no, this one was not. The other one that was rated R was Knock at the Cabin. That one was.
Man, you think Shyamalan with all the horror movies he's tried to make would go for R movies more like with this and Split and like you think there would be like some more R's.
I'm actually gonna go ahead and say didn't see the coming for that one because I know when I was watching the movie, I was definitely like
Weren't the
surprised.
trailers like definitely leaning into it being a horror movie, like something just definitely up with these grandparents?
Yeah, like you could tell something is up with the grandparents. You could tell that there's like something unsettling or like concerning, but like murdered and replaced with escaped mental patients, like that is just like damn, I did not see that coming.
Man,
But yeah, so next is Split.
split, split, split.
Okay, I like Split. I do like this movie. I
Split
think
is
that
fine.
yeah, I think that in terms of like the portrayal of DID, because I know that's a big thing that people really harp on this movie for. Yes, it does have like the typical harmful stereotypes. It has
Ooh, the
the evil
evil one.
altar. It has
Oh, the female one.
yeah, like it does play on a lot of those like conventions and tropes that are just like very very played out and very inaccurate, like not an accurate representation of it. But it does do some things right. There are some things that it does kind of get right. His DID stemmed from trauma, from a traumatic incident. The altars were born as a way to protect him from that trauma. That is accurate and realistic. Uh, I hate what they end up doing with the beast. I think that's pretty terrible. But
Yeah, yeah, it gets weird, especially with like this is an Unbreakable sequel, so this is pretty much like his superpower, I guess. But at the same time, they mentioned that other people have like supernatural like DID, where
yeah, like they
oh
talk about how DID can like alter people's physiology and their body, and that is true. That is actually a true fact that people with DID sometimes can have physiological changes in their alters. Like there are genuinely some people who some alters may have specific conditions that others may not. So like they play it off as a joke in the movie, but the alter that has diabetes that needs insulin, that's an actual thing that could happen.
But then there's also like a mention of like it's not what the it's not what like the one that James McAvoy plays, but they
Hmm.
mentioned like this woman that has like she's blind, but the altar there's like some altars that aren't blind.
Yeah, yeah. So it plays the line between realistic and fictional, like it borders between it back and forth, and like the things that it does wrong, it does really wrong. The things that are kind of uncomfortable and messy, definitely not a fan of. But
I think it definitely plays it better than MCU Moon Knight, where because like oh wait no wait I forgot there is a scene at the end where they do like talk to each other through
yeah, at the
mirrors.
very end, they have to
At the
shoehorn in talking to each other through a mirror at the end.
yeah, at least none of them like suddenly grew a mustache and speaks a whole different language.
Mm-hmm.
I think. No, wait. Didn't I think one of them spoke a different language? It was like one of the brief ones that was like super quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Like one of the minor ones, like that didn't get much focus.
mm-hmm. I just
Man, this one guy had so many he had like 23 alters that like that's enough for like a main character, supporting characters, and a minor supporting cast.
uh
Dude can have a whole sitcom by himself and all his
yeah.
alters. A 23 and 1 sitcom.
Uh, but yeah, so in terms of the DID stuff, like it's down the middle. There's some good traits about it. There's some bad traits that play on typical stereotypes and harmful tropes and things.
Maybe
Mm-hmm.
maybe his superpower wasn't the alters like the DID stuff. Maybe the superpower is more like specifically with the beast. If like one alter can have like diabetes and the others can't, maybe there's like an alter that can have superpowers and the others don't.
Yeah, yeah. So it's.
It being in the Unbreakable universe, that's not as much of a stretch.
Mm-hmm. I think like for the most part the film works pretty well. I do think there are those issues, there are those small little grievances and things like that, but yeah, I don't know. I think I'm comfortable with putting this in A.
I think it's fine. Like it's one of the few movies that like dare to like discuss DID and like attempt it in a positive light
Mm-hmm.
at the best it can. The bad stuff about it is more like it means well, but it kind of slipped into that stuff,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
I definitely think that it's one of those cases where it's like good intentions, bad execution. Like presenting DID as a superpower, not really great. It's a real condition people have. Having the
If they
beast
made it,
be this
if
like
it,
this creature, this force of nature, also not great. But
if they made it like more obvious, like I don't even know if this was the intention or not, that the
mhm.
beast is the one with superpowers and and like the DID stuff is not the superpower.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Okay. In terms of the twist, this is one is an easy didn't see coming because there's nothing to indicate that it is in the Unbreakable universe until the very end.
Yeah, like you really got to think about it. Like this is like 15 years after Unbreakable came out. Like you'd think they would move on. It wasn't in the advertising. There was no hints of superpowers. Whatever like crazy supernatural stuff is probably just like something you would have seen in like its other ones like aliens and magical creatures and yada yada.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, for
You
sure.
probably would have thought it was just like another one off, but nope, it's an Unbreakable. Bruce Willis, baby.
Which leads us into the sequel, the end of the Unbreakable trilogy Glass, which is, man, was this a disappointment. I was looking forward to this one. Because I really loved Glass or Split. I thought Split was really good. Unbreakable was fine, like a little underwhelming, but I thought it was good too. So I was ready for this to knock it out of the park, be like a satisfying conclusion, really be like this bookend to this universe. But it's,
Nope.
man, the character assassination of Mr. Glass needs to be examined because they turned him into a caricature of a comic book fan. Almost everything that comes out of his mouth is a comic book reference. And like, yes, he
It's
had a
like
comic book
it's
obsession in Unbreakable. Like he was very much focused on the comic book and the role of the hero and the villain and those things. But he had dialogue that was not comic book related. Here, he doesn't talk without this is the part where the bad guys are teaming up, and it's like
he's
does
like the
everything you
critic
say
in
have to
Lady
be
in the Water.
yeah, like everything he says is a comic book reference. And then same with his mom. Like his mom, all of her dialogue is just like, "My son told me about comic books where," and it's like, it's just it's flanderization at its
Speaking of the
peak.
mom, how is she still alive?
Yeah, yeah. I don't.
Like Mr. Glass is already getting gray hair, and his like they look more like siblings or husband and wife than mother and son.
Hmm. There's also the question of what is the girl from Split, Courtney, I believe her name was. What is she doing
I
here?
just I just call her Magic because it's Anya Taylor Joy, and she played Magic in the New Mutants. I know
Yeah.
she has more prominent roles, but it's funnier when it's funnier because like she's in the same movie as Professor X.
Hmm. Yeah, so like, I don't understand her inclusion here. Like I know they wanted to frame it as being like they each of them has like an anchor or like a character to humanize them. So for Mr. Glass, it's its mom. For David, it's his son, and for the Beast, it's her. But like the only connection you guys have is that he kidnapped you, killed and ate your friends, and oh yeah, both of you suffered assault from a family member. It's like
The only satisfying part of her inclusion is knowing that she got away from her creepy ass uncle.
yeah, God, that is. Oh, the
That's the
scenes in Split with her as a kid and her uncle are so uncomfortable. Like the scene where he's like, "Let's play animals. Animals don't wear
but I
clothes. Take it off." It's like, oh, stop! Don't do that.
but I feel
No,
that
stop.
but I feel like that was definitely the intention. Like it wanted to
Yeah,
make you feel as uncomfortable as how she feels about it. Like
yeah, and like on that level, like it works. It works really well because you are supposed to feel uncomfortable, but also it's just like, I wish she had shot him, man. Like, okay, I mean, that would have been traumatizing for a child and probably would have messed her up more, but also, mm,
but
yeah,
hey, pedophile dead. Hooray.
yeah. So, yeah, Glass is it's disappointing. It's underwhelming. It really kills
And
Mr. Glass as a character.
and just kills Mr. Glass in general. And the others.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna dump it into. I'll
What are you
dump it
thinking,
into
D?
C, just because I like the universe. I like the universe that this is in, and like getting a trilogy was nice. So on that merit, I think that works. That's fine, but the movie itself is not doesn't have much going for it.
We didn't even mention what Bruce Willis's character did in the movie.
He went to go fight the beast, and then he got captured, and he was told, "You're not actually a superhero," and he was like, "Damn." And then Mr. Glass told him, "You're a superhero," and he was like, "I am," and then he died.
I was honestly disappointed that his superhero name wasn't just Unbreakable, and he would say like, "I'm unbreakable," but no, he's like the Overseer or something,
The overseer, which leans
and like
more into his
that's
second ability
lame.
about being able to see things, which I don't know. Also,
That's
they keep like
lame.
hyping up a fight between him and the Beast, but they never really actually do. Like they have a couple of like small fights, but there's never like a big fight between them. So they hype up and build up to something that never happens.
Yeah.
In terms of the twist of this movie, the twist that superpowered individuals do exist and that there's an organization trying to suppress their existence, I mean, I don't know. I think it's kind of unnecessary.
Yeah. Especially like this is the last one, and like it's definitely not gonna go anywhere.
Hmm.
We're like we are like aside from the fact that the main character, that like the three prominent characters are dead now.
Yeah. Okay. Next is Old. Oh, this is a movie.
Ah,
This is certainly a movie. This is such an uncomfortable experience to watch. There is so much about this movie that
no,
just the implications
now,
of it really you do not want to think about, particularly with
yeah,
the children that turn into adults.
Now, before we get further into this, I just want to ask, what are your names and what do you do for a living?
uh, Shyamalan doesn't know how to
That
write
kid,
kids.
that kid still cracks me up.
And the only purpose that served was just to know that that guy was a police officer. It never amounted to anything
literally
else.
just literally just writing a character gimmick just to serve for like later on, like so far down the movie that you forget it happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's what makes it smart. See, in the movie knew I'm smart because it knows that I would remember some small detail earlier on.
Mm-hmm. Um, yeah. I don't know. I feel like I really love like the concept of this movie. Like conceptually, I think it's a really good movie, but it is very uncomfortable. It is very like, and I think that's the point. I think you're supposed to feel uncomfortable, but this movie jumps from okay, this is kind of boring to oh shit, what's happening to okay, I've lost interest now to damn, what just happened? Like it's
When
all over the place. Also,
when when the adults were
midsize
getting like
sedan is the worst name ever.
for a for a music artist, yeah.
This movie also has a
I'm like,
racist doctor, so there's that. A racist doctor with
apparently,
schizophrenia.
yeah, like dude was just actually racist. I think like the schizophrenia was just like secondary. He was
The
the fact that
schizophrenia
he's like
made him racist. He distrusted black people not because he hated them, but because the voices told him to.
he's got like voices and instead of like saying like hate black people, be suspicious of them. Ooh.
Yeah, so racist doctor with schizophrenia. That was a
Racist
choice.
schizophrenic voices. Yeah, that was definitely a choice.
Rapidly aging up children and then having them get
Have
pregnant was
sex.
also a choice.
Yeah.
And then having the baby die from starvation was also a choice. Like there's just so
Like
much about
yeah,
this movie that's so unsettling and just
like yeah, it definitely makes sense for like the stuff they built up. Like the kids were like a lot more as they were growing because like yeah, they're growing boys and girls. They gotta eat more, while the adults are already grown, so they're fine.
mm-hmm.
Their stomachs are expanding, so like the baby whose stomach is expanding like faster, but it's not getting enough food, just dies.
Yeah.
Like it makes sense, but it's still like what the fuck, man.
For sure, yeah. So um God,
They do play. I do like this one scene where they just like fully remove a tumor, utilizing like the accelerated healing that the beach
oh yeah, that
gives.
was a really good like use of like the world and
That
like the beach's physics and also just like the imagery of it of like having to hold it open while they extract it and then having the wound naturally heal. Like
that
that
was
was
like
actually really good.
that was that was crazy. I like that scene.
Hmm. Yeah, I
I
think.
think like
Hmm.
there was also like this one scene like with this one like lady with a calcium deficiency just like goes crazy at night and just ends up into these weird poses, and I'm like, did Shyamalan want this to be rated R too? Because I feel like he wanted to be rated
I feel
R.
like he wanted to be rated R. I really do. So like, I think this movie is unsettling. It's disturbing. It is at times really uncomfortable to watch. It can also be like slow and dull at moments, but overall, it has a lot of good things going for it. And I don't know. I kind of want to put it in A.
Yeah, like it definitely starts the Shyamalan tropes. Like the kids aren't written like they're actually kids.
Hmm.
Granted, they grow out of that it's very on, so but they still act like them.
Yeah.
But they still act like they're like kid, but not kid selves.
Hmm. In terms of the twist, this movie actually has two twists. So for that pure merit that it has two twists, I'm gonna put it into didn't see coming.
There's the scientific experimentation part of the beach. That's twist one,
Hmm.
and then twist two is like, oh yeah, they actually made it out.
Hmm.
They made
Okay.
it out and
So,
exposed them. They
all right.
brought they brought justice.
So the next three
Now for
movies,
the.
I know you didn't watch any of these three. You weren't able to make it for those. So
I
I'm just
was
gonna like kind
not.
of quickly speed run through these last three. Um, for Knock at the Cabin, this movie I really loved this one a lot. I really love just like the tenseness of it, like how tense everything is, and just like the uncertainty of is it real, is it not real, like are these really like is it really the apocalypse that's happening, is this like is it a ploy, is it a lie, and just like
Oh man,
the
don't tell me I
uncertainty and the
missed out on the
tension.
good ones. Like the unironic good ones.
Sadly, I regret to inform you that you did because I love this movie, and I actually am going to put this in S. Um,
Wait, actually, one last thing about old.
yeah.
I forgot to mention. Jaren.
He says his name
I'm
so many
Jaren.
times.
I'm Jaren, by the way. It's Jaren. I'm Jaren.
Uh, but yeah, so you know, with Knock at the Cabin, what I find super interesting is that this one's an adaptation. It's an adaptation of a book, and the book ending is a lot more Shyamalan than the movie ending. He actually
The book
changed
is
the
more
ending.
Shyamalan than the Shyamalan movie?
Yeah, it's crazy because in the book ending is that the couple, the gay dads, they're fighting and they're arguing and they're trying to like figure out, and then their daughter accidentally dies. Like she gets shot on accident and she dies. But because it was an accident, her death doesn't count as a tribute. So the whole thing is, they have to tribute one of their loved ones, and so, you know, they have to tribute one of their loved ones and end the apocalypse. The apocalypse can only end if they sacrifice one of the three of them. So because it was an accident, it wasn't accepted as a valid tribute. So the the two dads, they're just like, well, fuck this. Like our daughter's dead, and you still want us to sacrifice more. So they just choose not to, and it's left ambiguous whether or not the apocalypse was real or if it was all just a hoax, an illusion, hysteria. Like it's left on an ambiguous ending that's very bitter, very like, well, they lost their daughter, and maybe the world's about to end. Maybe the apocalypse is about to happen. The movie ending is that one of one of the dads, he chooses to sacrifice himself because he gets a vision of their daughter growing up and growing up to live a happy life, and he's like, I want her to be able to live her life. I want her to be able to grow up and have a life for herself, and that won't happen if the world ends. So he chooses to sacrifice himself. He has his partner shoot and kill him, and then the dad that remains, he takes their daughter and they leave, and so they end up finding evidence that the four people that were there, what they were saying was true. Like everything was true. The apocalypse really was happening, and so they're left with, the two of them have to find a way to move forward. Did they stop the apocalypse? They, the world is saved, humanity is saved, but they're broken. Like he lost his husband, she lost one of her dads, so it's a very like personally sad ending. So that's like the
You know,
difference between them, and I feel like the book is more traditional Shyamalan because it's ambiguous. We don't get a direct answer whether or not anything was real. It's bittersweet. It's very sad, very morbid. Whereas the movie has a
I'm
bit more of a clear ending. It's still sad. Like they have to find a way to live and move on from what happened, but the apocalypse was real. They did prevent the apocalypse from happening, so
I think I might disagree. I think the movie that is more in line with Shyamalan's other endings, like think about Old. Like I thought when it was like showing like the scientists like revealing like they're doing this to like experiments on medicines and all that, I
mhm.
feel like it would have ended there, and then they just added this final bit of the two kid adults, the man children,
Mhm.
escaping and exposing them to make it a feel good ending. And like think about like
Yeah.
the other endings are not really that ambiguous. Like Unbreakable literally ends with text saying like, and so Unbreakable Man reported Mr. Glass to the police.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, I guess to me, I feel like this is one of the things, and like I'm actually just gonna switch over to the other tab. This is one of the things that I think this movie doesn't have a twist because it's played straightforward. They really were there to prevent the apocalypse. The apocalypse was real. Everything they said was real. There is no twist. The apocalypse was happening. He sacrificed himself to end it. The apocalypse was ended because of their sacrifice. It's played straightforward. There's no sudden reveal that it was fake. There's no ambiguity. Like it's very straightforward. And I
I would
think
say
I
that,
love that. I love the fact that the twist is that there is no twist. It's a straightforward movie.
yeah, I don't think the others are like that ambiguous in terms of like their endings. Like a lot of this is like, yeah, these events definitely did happen. Yes, aliens invaded. Yes, this village is in is in modern times. Yes, magical elves are a thing, and
Hmm.
they fly on eagles. Yes, superpowers are real. Yes, blah blah blah. Yes, the plants are angry.
Hmm.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, that's true. I guess. Yeah, there. I guess in my mind, I imagine like when I think of twists, I think of like that like shock or like mystery. But you're right. There is actually like less ambiguity. Like if you actually look at the bigger picture, then it is a bit more in line with kind of laying everything out directly. But I just love the fact that the twist of the movie is that there is no twist. It is.
That's probably like the best Shyamalan twist ever, actually.
Yeah, because, like, I mean, by this point, Shyamalan's known for his twists. He's the twist guy. So to make a movie that is based off of a book that has a very ambiguous ending, and then just be like, nope, we're just going to play it
I mean,
straightforward.
when your theatrical filmography is like 11 out of 13 movies having twists, and your 14th is the you just go like, yeah, the twist is actually there is no twist.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, I love this movie. Like, it actually is, like it's good. There's tension to it. There's weight to it. You feel the character moment. The four horsemen of the apocalypse, the four visitors that go to the cabin, they do great. Dave Bautista does so good in this movie. Um,
Dave Bautista.
yeah, he's the main like the leader of the four horsemen of the apocalypse, but he does so well in this movie. Like he's just like the like he talks like very softly, but like very like sternly. He's very like straightforward. He's
He's definitely
compassionate
one of
but
the
firm.
he's definitely one of the better wrestler actors out there.
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't even realize it was Dave Bautista until like halfway through the movie when I was like, my God, it's killing me. Why does he look familiar? And I looked it up and I was like, damn.
Oh yeah, I just didn't recognize him without gray skin and red tattoos all over.
But yeah, so
Kratos?
um,
Yeah,
and
he's too
then
short to be Kratos.
the last movie that he's made, his most recent one, Trap, the nepotism movie. This movie was made just so that he could make a movie for his daughter for her music career.
Oh. Is
Um,
it?
mhm.
It's not as bad as Lady in the Water's like egotism, is it?
No, because surprisingly, the nepotism movie is actually literally one of the best movies. This was such a good
Oh,
movie. Somehow the
oh my God!
nepotism movie won out.
The Nepo Baby movie wins.
Yeah, the nepotism movie is one of his strongest movies because so with Trap, the main premise of this one is that um, dad takes his daughter to a concert, but dad is actually a serial killer, and the FBI are at the concert because they got a tip off that the serial killer was going to be at the concert. So he has to like try to figure out a way to avoid getting caught by the FBI and avoid being like found out, while making sure that his daughter doesn't get suspicious of anything. And then he ends up taking like the main pop star Shyamalan's daughter hostage. He like forces her to take him and his daughter on a limousine ride because that way they can get past the FBI security. Because since she's a star, she doesn't have to like go through security checks. Um, and then the pop star has to like find a way to alert what's going on without him like being aware or without him knowing, because if she says anything then he's going to kill the guy that he currently has held hostage. And it's just like it's such a good movie. um there's like there's real tension, there's real stakes. The characters, this is actually like probably the best case of this one, and also Knock at the Cabin are probably the best cases of Shyamalan child writing TM, because they actually feel like kids. Like she feels like, a girl at a concert. She fangirls over a pop star and she's like it's natural, it's genuine, and it doesn't feel out of place or awkward or stilted. Um, so somehow, against all odds, nepotism created a good movie.
All Shyamalan was missing was nepotism. That was the secret ingredient missing.
Yeah. So the the way that Shyamalan makes the only two movies to make it into S tier is by having the twist be that there's no twist, and by having nepotism. That was what he was missing all along.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So I don't know. These two, they're just like they're so good. Like watching these two movies, Knock at the Cabin and Trap. When I watching them, it's like I finally see what film bros have been saying about Shyamalan all along. Like I mean, I'm not gonna
Oh
say
yeah,
it's
you just
some kind.
reminded me of that.
Yeah.
You just reminded me of that film bro review I found of Lady and the Water that was like it's actually a masterpiece. I'm like, dude, this is a movie where Shyamalan is saying that he is so good at writing that he inspires a president. Shut up.
Yeah. So you know, it's like I'm not gonna call Shyamalan like like a visionary or like innovative or anything, but I do think he does have a unique style, and when he plays to his strengths, he can make some great movies. The Shyamalan flop era, like all of these movies right here, these all came out around the same time. This was his flop era because he was so focused on writing to the twist. He just wanted to write a story, get to the twist, and then have that be the payoff because he was a twist guy, because that's all anyone cared about. But when he stopped caring about the twist, when he just wrote a movie, it was great. And like Trap does have a twist, but it's not like it's like it's subtle, and it doesn't really like completely reframe anything. It's more so just like a genuine twist reveal. So to get to that, the twist in Trap, um, this one I didn't see coming. The twist is that the person who tipped off the FBI that the serial killer was going to be in the concert was his wife. She
Oh.
she found one of his safe houses where he had stuff, and she was suspicious. So she was nervous, she was anxious, she was worried. So she made an anonymous call to the police. The police raided the place and they found a receipt for the concert tickets. So that's how they knew that he was going to be at the concert. So it is literally like knowing the twist in advance doesn't change anything about the movie. Like it doesn't reframe anything because like the wife isn't really like a huge prominent character. She's only there like towards the end of the movie. Most of the movie is centered at the concert with him and his daughter and the pop star. Like they only go to
It's
his
more
house near the end.
it's more a twist in like it like the one that the informant is like someone like personal to him. Like, oh shit, that's oh dang, that's rough.
Yeah. Also,
Rough for him anyway.
Kid Cudi is in this movie, and he plays a rapper named The Thinker. And I think that's only slightly better than Midsize Sedan.
But besides that is so hilarious that I love it. Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Midsize Sedan, and I'm gonna do a collaboration with uh, XL Truck.
But yeah, like also the other thing about this is that despite being a nepotism movie, M Night Shyamalan's daughter actually does really great in this role. Like she does genuinely sing well. Like she's a great singer. She does do good music, and her acting is good too. Like
I just
it's not like
I just
painfully
realized.
obvious they just have a singer in an acting role. And if there are some times where they have like singers or things doing acting, and you can tell they're not actors. It's not the case here. She does good in the role. So
I just realized there's another Nepo baby movie in here. After Earth, Jaden Smith.
wow, Nepo babies created the best and the worst of Shyamalan.
But After Earth is more of a Will Smith movie than a Shyamalan movie, so
Yeah, Shyamalan was like, I think Will Smith was onto something with using your children to make movies. I'm gonna try it.
I don't know why he would think that when the one time that he did it with him flopped or like
Yeah. Okay. And then the last one is Praying with Anger, which is technically the first one because this was Shyamalan's. It was his film project when he was in film school. So it's technically his first film, but it's not like a the debut film or a theatrical film. The only way you can watch this is on YouTube in 480p with very poor audio, which is why I removed it from the watch marathon because I tried watching it on my own and I was like, man, this is suffering. But I did sit through it because I knew I had to talk about it, and there's nothing to talk about.
so
It's a
so
film project.
it's like adding Spider-Man Lotus to a Spider-Man movie marathon.
Yeah, like it's a film project. Wide Awake is the directorial debut. That's his first real movie. This is him experimenting, figuring out his style. There are like Shyamalan traits in it. You can tell it's a Shyamalan movie, and it does lean pretty heavily into a similar style to The Sixth Sense or Unbreakable, which is why it's really weird that Wide Awake is so different from
Wide
everything
Awake,
else on this list.
such a weird exception, like even weirder than Last Airbender.
Yeah, like
At least Last Airbender, the weird part of that is like the source material is so unlike any of his other movies that seeing this movie where it's like taking something and putting all this Shyamalanism in it that it's
mhm.
so weird. This is a movie made by Shyamalan that has like very little Shyamalanisms. And it's not and we can't even say like, well, it's his first movie when like his film project has more Shyamalanisms
Yeah,
than his
yeah.
first movie.
So this movie is I don't know. It's so hard to rank this movie in comparison to the others because again, it is a film project. It's not really a theatrical movie and like the quality that I watched it in was poor quality, so that's obviously going to affect my enjoyment of it. It's going to be hard to rank a movie when you're watching it in 480p with grainy audio. For what I was able to get from the movie, it was fine. You know, it's Shyamalan's style. It's a thing. You can tell it's from him. He was a very stylistic director even before he was a director. So, I don't know. I'm not going to be mean to a film project, but I can't say much about it, so I'm just tossing it to see.
Yeah. And what's the twist of this movie?
I could not tell you. I genuinely could not tell you. That's probably just because it was so hard to follow along, but I tried looking it up too, and I didn't really find any information because nobody's seen this movie.
Can,
The plot of this movie,
can
if
we
you're
even
wondering, it's about like I think it's like about someone who's like going to like India or something.
wow, the one thing that relates to him.
Yeah,
The
he
one time he does a movie that relates to him.
he made this movie and he was like,
Other than the
I think
fact that
I'm gonna
most of
make
these
movies
take place
about
in
Christianity
Philadelphia.
now.
Wait, hang on, wait. I forgot to ask. The last two ones, Knock at the Cabin and Trap, are they in Philadelphia or just Pennsylvania, just the Pennsylvania state?
Trap, yes. Knock at the Cabin is it's like on the outskirts, but their family's from there, so also yeah.
Outskirts of Philadelphia or outskirts of Pennsylvania?
Outskirts of Pennsylvania, I believe it was. If I'm remembering correctly, the movie itself takes
So
place
they're
in the
like on the
outskirts of Pennsylvania, and then the family's from either from Philadelphia or from around there. But Philadelphia is mentioned.
Okay, so there is still Philadelphia
Yeah,
connections.
and then Trap does take place in Philadelphia.
It still goes on.
Yeah, so I don't know. Praying with Anger twist.
We
I guess
should
I'll
we
just.
should have had like another. If we had a third tier, we would probably like it would probably be a bit shorter tier. It's just like takes place in Pennsylvania. Definitely does not take place in Pennsylvania.
I can
Probably
I can do that afterwards. Like when we're done with this, I can just make a third one on my own and just toss stuff in there because that would be really easy to do.
After Earth would be like maybe takes place in Pennsylvania. You can say they landed in like overgrown apocalyptic Philadelphia.
Hmm. But yeah, okay. So this is our tier list. So is there anything that sticks out to you about something that you just think should be moved around, whether it's moving it within the same tier or moving it to another tier?
I do think that old isn't good enough to be A because it's still like there's. I remember from my experiences with old watching it, I remember more laughing at it than like being like
Hmm.
fully engaged with it. There were moments where I was engaged, but like most of it, I was like laughing or just like confused.
That's fair, yeah. It is one of those movies that's like all over the place. Like it has some really good moments, but those aren't enough to carry the whole thing. And there are also just those moments of either sure disbelief, what the heck is going on right now, or just like nothing is going on right now.
Yeah, I don't think old belongs in A, to be honest.
I can see that argument. Yeah, I can move it to B.
Like, I prefer Unbreakable over old. C definitely feels like the most appropriate one to have the most, because, like, yeah, a lot of these movies are kind of mid.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I think
It,
that's pretty good.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. So that is the tier list
Wait,
as it
should we check
stands.
the twist one to see if there's any we should switch around?
Oh yeah, yeah. There's anything to hear that you
Yeah,
think?
yeah. I can't speak much on the ones that I haven't seen.
Man,
I feel like
I made these categories and I thought, yeah, this will be good. This will be like a good way to kind of split it up. And I'm just thinking now, like, wow, these are. I should have added
yeah,
like more things in between.
maybe not like more things in between, but more like maybe like just change up the like the category descriptions so like there's a bit more like elbow room to work with.
Yeah, yeah, because they're like very tight, very tight criteria or like ways to
Because like
judge.
didn't see coming just feel I feel like we could have had like a good twist where it's like even if we did see it
Yeah, like even if
coming,
it was a good, even if it was predictable, or even if it was like something that we expected, it's still a good twist. Like that would have been a better phrasing for it. But
like unnecessary, like yeah, like actually yeah, probably unnecessary because like those movies definitely did not need a twist.
hmm.
I mean a lot of these probably didn't need one. Like signs like kind of also belongs in unnecessary, but like it's also just a really bad twist.
Yeah, and there's like a lot of crossover between unnecessary and bad because like an unnecessary twist is bad. Like by nature, being unnecessary makes it bad. But for
I
me,
think
I
like
just separated them because I feel like a bad twist is one that either ruins the movie or just doesn't serve any purpose, whereas unnecessary is just like, yeah, you could remove it, you could keep it. It's like not too big of a deal.
I mean I bet with your description of bad, I guess like what wide awake belongs in bad because like we talked about how like the whole God is a blonde kid twist ruin kind of like ruins like the like sort of like the ending bit of
Mm-hmm.
the movie. Kind of like takes like the ending message and just kind of like slaps it.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I can see that. I can definitely, I can. That sounds fitting.
It is definitely hilarious though.
Yeah, just like the notion of God was here this whole time, and he was just.
God took the time out of his like watching over Earth, like all that stuff, answering like billions of prayers, and just picked this one.
Also just I think the other thing about the wide awake twist that makes me laugh is earlier in the movie the Pope was kidnapped and God did nothing about it.
It was a picture of the Pope.
The movie said the Pope got kidnapped. I'm just saying what the movie
That was
said.
just that was just like probably an early sign of Shyamalan writing kids weird.
Robert Berkman kidnapped the Pope today.
Uh, the Pope from Chicago.
All right. Well, that is good for this. Definitely, a lot of fun having you watch these with us, even if it wasn't
For
great
all of them.
movies. We had a whole week of Shamanon flop era, and you missed out on the
Uh,
good ones. So I'm sorry for
I
you.
I'm surprised that the ones that I missed are like either decent or just flat out like the I missed the S tiers.
Yeah, yeah, the two that you missed. So
Shit, now I'm thinking about like trying to watch them on my own at some time.
um, I know that Trap is on HBO Max, and then Cabin in the Woods is on Amazon Prime, I think. So it wouldn't be hard to find them, but hey, if you're ever curious, giving them a look, I personally I would say that it's worth it. Of course, I would say watch them with a friend because Shyamalan movies are always better with someone else. I don't think I would ever watch a Shyamalan movie alone, especially not after this. After this experience, when the next Shyamalan movie comes out next year, I am finding whoever I can to drag to the movie theaters with me.
Uh, yeah, well, I'm definitely not going for the one on eight on Amazon Prime because like I tried watching the new War of the Worlds movie, and as soon as I clicked on it, I got hit with 3 minutes of ads, and I'm like, nope, I'm gonna ask a friend to download and send it to me.
Oh god, God, that reminds me. I need to cancel my AMC Plus. I haven't done that yet, and I need to do it before tomorrow. Otherwise, I get charged again. So I'm literally canceling it as soon as we finish recording this or streaming this because it's not a recording.
Yeah.
All right. So, uh, before we head off, before we end, where can we find you on social media, and what do you do that people can find you for?
Well, I'm kind of on and off Blue Sky. I'm not on Twitter anymore for obvious reasons. I have a YouTube channel, but like I've kind of been a bit busy with real life stuff, with work and stuff, so I haven't really like doing too much content creation, trying to like get back in the swing of things slowly but surely.
Mm-hmm.
My work's entering an off season, so got some time to do that. But yeah, just look me up on YouTube and Blue Sky under Ridiculous, and you should be able to find me there.
All right then. Well, I will go ahead and put your Blue Sky and YouTube in the video description, and I'll tag you in the video. But yeah, this was like I said, this was a really fun time. Um, I was not looking forward to this movie marathon, and it was certainly a pain at times. But hey,
Strangely, around the end, it got better for you.
yeah. Now next week we start Gotham Knights because my server hates me.
The CW Gotham Knights, not the video game, which still
That still
that's
wouldn't
still.
be enjoyable.
I mean, it probably would have been better, but like, uh,
Well, we'll see how that goes, and then
uh,
yeah,
man, I can't wait to like flex my limited knowledge on DC's extended Bat Family stuff and go, oh, that's not right.
that'll definitely be a fun discussion in I don't know
Probably, probably
3 weeks.
more knowledge than Bat Family TikTok though.
All right. Well, this was fun. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for everyone who watched this or who will watch this, and to any film bros who most likely did not make it more than 10 minutes in this and is already writing a comment about how we're wrong. No.
Yeah, yeah. Go like post about your Snyder cuts or something. I don't care. I, uh,
Uh, all right then.
hashtag don't restore the Snyderverse. Hashtag restore the Philadelphia verse though.
Man, I actually kind of want to do that now. I want to just like sit down and find the most convoluted but still make sense way to tie as many of these movies together as possible, and then
Good,
when I make that
good.
video, specifically blame you for it.
Good luck trying to conduct the Last Airbender and not get the cabin. Because trying to explain an apocalyptic event and just flat out an Asian fantasy movie into Philadelphia with all these other movies, good luck.
Yeah, that'll be a challenge, but there's one thing I'm great at. It's stretching logic and making contrivances.
Still crazy that the Indian guy whitewashed in a movie. Granted, like some of the casting in Last Airbender was like more nepo babies, like from producers and stuff. Not all Shyamalan's fault, but you'd think
Mm-hmm.
Shyamalan would draw a line somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something all right, but yeah, I guess my last words, closing thoughts would be: if you are going to watch Shyamalan movies, do not watch them in the span of a month. Make sure you watch them with a friend, and you can skip the slop era. There's nothing there that's worth it.
No, no, do not skip the slop era. Gather friends for the slop era. Grab popcorn, get drunk, enjoy the slop, laugh at the slop.
All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead, sign off, and yeah, this was a fun discussion.
I'll let my last words be enjoy the slop.